So social movements have to motivate the rider and clear the path for the elephant, right? Building organizations or with activists that are engaged and committed and sustained action can come out, transformative action can come out. Let's look at the mobilizing and organizing again. This is Hari Han's How Organizations Develop Activists. So what are the underlying precepts, rationale behind the call to action, approach to recruitment, measures of success, support provided, and level of guidance? I ran through this in the previous podcast because I wanted to revisit this here. So mobilizing focuses on maximizing action and people to act when the benefits outweigh costs. So there is not a clear sacrifice needed. So minimizing costs by making the actions easy to take. At least they will convince you that's the case. Make initial action as easy as possible so that people just click and say, yes, I'm part of the action. The numbers of taking action is a measure of success in that case. As I said, literally like the number of people who apply for the credit card from the mall agent that is trying to sell it. Mostly technical support is provided, and members' actions are typically directed directly by the staff. Okay, so whereas organizing, you want to develop people's capacity to act. So this is agency. Give them capacity, give them autonomy. And activism is a product of dynamic social interactions. It's not just like you went somewhere and somebody convinced you to do something saying, contribute to this cause. Boom, done. So create a sense of interdependence, that relational commitment that we talked about. Create experiences most likely to foster further activism. So this is a sense of community, sense of purpose, sense of agency, and so on. Transformations in individuals' capacities and motivations. So the example we talked about, the pro-life movement, where people who were not even sure whether they were pro-life or not got hooked into it, got engaged and committed to marches, actions, protests, and so on and so forth. Training, there are people who protest outside abortion clinics, for example, very committed people standing there in any kind of weather because they are really committed. Training, coaching, mentoring, and promoting reflection as opposed to just technical support. Members given the big picture and have autonomy within this. So they are not being hierarchically ordered to do something. Okay? Big difference. And the leadership structures that come from this place, Hari Han, based on Gantz's work, you have dependent and independent versus interdependent leaderships. Here, this is kind of mobilizing, centrally controlled hierarchical structure where everybody is dependent on this. So if leadership collapses, then the movement collapses. Independent, you may have multiple leaders, but they may not all be on the same page as to the purpose, the action, the agency, the plan of action, etc. Strategy. We will define strategy in a minute. Okay, so this can also be not a very effective transformational social movement, especially for climate change. Okay. Here is the interdependent leadership structure that is most effective for building social activists. Okay, so there is a central structure that delegates to some sort of a leadership, let's say regional leaders, and then that goes out to further delegation at local level, let's say. So it could be something like reducing carbon footprint from eating meat, and it could be run, let's say, out of DC, and then it has leaders in, let's say, many continents, or just the US in many states, and then local leaders and so on and so forth, so that everybody is engaged, everybody is locally able to engage others, and create this holistic relational environment. So social movements usually work best with an interdependent leadership structure. So this works best for social movements where everyone is working on the same vision and in the same direction. The work is chunked out into pieces so that it can be distributed. It's a network. Though each person is working with others for a shared purpose, each person is also responsible for a specific piece of the work. So the organization itself is fundamentally different from just mobilizing. Because the meaningful work is distributed, individuals have autonomy and agency. So you pick leaders who are capable and they have autonomy. Okay, that's important. They themselves are transformed by working with others towards the common goal of transforming society. So it's not just that they're getting orders and they're just following orders, but they themselves are actually feeling transformed, and they themselves are leaders able to provide build autonomy and I don't know, I'm trying to edit this while I'm recording. Nonetheless, I think you get the idea. So it's not just mobilizing and it's not just central hierarchical leadership. It is interdependent leadership which creates leaders along the way who are committed and feel engaged and as a part of the solution. They are not just foot soldiers who are running around standing at the clinic, or you can use another example, tree huggers and so on, but they are actually local leaders which can engage other people and delegate further at that level as well. Real interdependent leadership is important for social movements that are transformational and can lead to climate solutions, social solutions for climate change.